Hi there, it's Sam from Pootles.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me today. Today's project is this one. It's a little notebook with a little loose edge so you can open and close it easily. Now my boys are going back to school. All four of them are going back to school. I don't know what I'm going to do with myself with all my free time because little Oliver has started at school as well. And I like these little notebooks. They're great. The boys love them. They're forever scribbling notes to one another. To me, they're drawing pictures. But even if you don't want to decorate it, and I've done it very much in a boy kind of style, you want to do something different, maybe a little bit feminine, or for somebody who's not into spots and stars, you know, you could decorate it in any particular fashion. And this is an A7 notebook, which is 1/8 of the size of a piece of regular cardstock. So if I bring in a piece of cardstock, it's 1/8 of the size. So as you can see, that's the halfway mark. You'd fit 4 there and 4 there. So that's the size of this. To measure to cut a notebook, you measure the width. That's how wide your piece of cardstock would need to be. You measure the, let me get the blank one. You measure that part there, add a bit for there, and a bit to go around the back so you cover up what if you needed to cut off, and a little smidge on the end. So that's how you measure. I know for this particular size notebook, my piece of cardstock needs to be 3 by 5.5 inches, which is 7.5 by 14 centimetres. So as you can see, it's the correct width, and obviously far too long for the front, so that's going to cover the back. Okay, so we're going to score this at 4 1/8 of an inch and 4 3/8 of an inch, which is 10.5 and 11 centimetres. That's it. That's all the scoring you need to do. And just fold and burnish these score lines. I've lost my bone folder. Fold and burnish. And then the piece of paper, and I would put these bits on and onto the notebook before you do the final decoration. This one measures 3 7/8 by 2 3/4, and it's beautiful. This is our background paper stacks. Love them, and it's in Pacific Point. This was in Real Red. This is Pacific Point. So 10 by 7 if you're working in centimetres. And essentially, covering a notebook is really just like decorating a card. When I was crafting many years ago, when my eldest son was a baby, and people stopped buying cards because there was a great emergence of shopping television and craft channels in the UK, I stopped making cards and started making notebooks instead, because it was exactly the same principle, really. This is my notebook I'm going to cover. I've taken off the horrible, oh, they have some really nasty covers on them. They are flimsy, and the reason you have a loose edge on a fancy covered notebook is so that you don't have to do that to get it open. And yeah, they're not so nice, the covers, so I've just taken it off. I've got a little bit here on the back, but it's going to cover, so it's not a problem. Put your adhesive only on this section, not on what is going to cover the spine, because you'd actually never, if you were going to be removing pages from your notebook, you'd never get it out because they'd all be stuck down. And just line it up. You can't go like that because obviously there's a loose edge, so I'm just kind of looking down my nose so you don't get the back of my head in view, to make sure it's all lined up and stuck down. So that's the basics of the cover done. And I've got Epic Alphabet, which is just, I love this set. It's so much fun. This one I put fun on. I'm going to put high on this one. So I'm going to take out the H and the I, which is down here. Grab a couple of blocks. So I'm going to take that one for the H. That's the wrong size. I'm dropping everything. They're on my windowsill. I have that one for the I. Some scrap white cardstock. And I want to leave a gap because obviously I've got to punch around them. And I appear to have put one of my punches away. Oh, that was helpful. So punch out the H with the 1 3/8 of an inch circle punch. And the I. And the next one I need is the 1 3/4 circle punch. So apologies for my arm in the camera shot. So I want the next size up. Is that the right one? Oh, it's not. Which one's it meant to be? Oh yeah, that one was meant to be the 1 1/4. Oops. Let's just re-stamp those. Oopsie daisy. Used the wrong punch. Let's try that again. H and I. So I need the 1 1/4. I'm still not convinced I've got that right. Yes, I have now. No. What's going on? What's my ruler there? Yeah, it should be the 1 1/4 inch circle punch. But you know, it's quite scary sometimes that I can be so dizzy. H, I. Now I need the 1 3/8 for this. That's right. There we go. We got there in the end. Oh, it hurts, doesn't it? I'm sorry. Okay. There's some dimensionals in all of these. Oh dear. I'm sure I'm not the only crafter who's a bit like that. I really hope I'm not the only crafter who's a bit like that. I know I'm not. I know I'm not. So there we go. And I think I'm going to go like this. Hi, and then I have got, I should say I'll put everything away, the star punch, and then I'll have a couple of little stars here as well. So pop this one up on a dimensional. Because these are for my boys, of course. And then some mini glue dots for the back of the stars, and if you sort of roll it over into a ball, you can get a little bit of elevation on your star. And there we go. With errors and bloopers, a couple of little notebooks. What do you think? I hope you like them. Thank you ever so much for joining me, and I hope to speak to you soon.